MCPodcasting.
3, 2, 1. What's happening, Stephen?
How you doing, damn it? You alright?
You're back in my apartment.
Back in your apartment. I don't like it. I think we should go back to the Skype. I don't like it at all.
It's so good the coronavirus is gone, man.
And the people mightn't realise, but like this looks different on camera. This is actually 2 meters. It actually
The camera
is. The camera adds.
It's not
yeah,
£10, yeah.
yeah.
£10 equivalent at 2 meters, so it's like 1 meter apart.
Yeah.
So coronavirus is gone, so we're allowed to be back in the same.
We done it.
Yay, we cleared the game. We fixed it. Yeah. So coronavirus is not going actually, Stephen. It's very dark time. But for us in Ireland,
It's not so bad.
We're doing better than most of the world. Not even most of the world. America and the UK probably.
Mm-hmm.
UK are getting worse, and so is.
We're a lot better here. We
Yeah.
don't have as many cases. Things are starting to open up again, so we've decided to start doing them again in house.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah, I think we're okay because you kind of social distance most of the time,
Yeah.
and I do as well. So we thought it'd be okay to do it. Speaking of America, hello Jake.
Hey.
So we're joined by my good friend Jake. How's it going, mate?
It's good. Yeah. I'm just chilling really at home.
How has lockdown affected you? Like, are you still trying to social distance, stay locked down, or
So
you?
let's just get this straight. You don't actually live in America, sure?
Oh, sorry.
No. I live in Belfast for almost 9 years now.
So you're from? Is it Los Angeles or just outside?
I'm from just outside Los Angeles. I'm from. I was born in Torrance area, but I lived in the Redondo Beach area.
Yeah.
And I've lived there for 10 years. With my 2 brothers who were also born out there, and we moved here in 2011. And we've been here ever since, just because my mom's from here.
Yes.
And we've got family out here as well. So
you obviously live in here. You obviously have friends and people you know back in America. I think you told me Chicago and also Los Angeles. Obviously, this is sharp contrast to what's actually happening here and in there. Like, do you know people still over there? Are you in contact?
Oh yeah.
You know what's going on? Are they still in lockdown or? I'm
not in contact with a lot of them. Unfortunately, I don't know why I'm not. But we went back in 2015, and it was just good to see all my friends again. Just a lot older now, and but now that we're like nearly adults and stuff, like I haven't been in contact with them in a while. But I think they're in. It can't happen. I think they're in the same situation as us, or were in. But I mean, they're dealing with the whole race issue over there as well.
So we'll get into that in a bit. But see, lockdown. How's lockdown affected you? Are you happy enough of it, or are you going insane?
You know, at the start, I think I was like, okay, I'm not really sure what this means for the economy or what this means for the world even. But I was pretty content with staying home and watching films on end and playing video games on end and getting paid basically to do nothing.
Oh yeah, true. Yeah.
Which is great. But I think like. As it went on, I was like, yeah, okay, this may end like around, I don't know, the end of May, beginning of June. It's near July, and we're still going. We're gradually getting open. But
there's a wee bit of normality kind of come back in, didn't I? When I first started doing it, like when the lockdown first happened, I was like, okay, this is shitty, but let's make the most of it. And I think I was like so productive the first week.
I wasn't.
But the bad thing for you, like. You got furloughed, didn't you, Jake?
Yeah, I did.
So you're saying I got furloughed for 4 weeks, but you haven't.
I haven't.
You've been like working.
I've just worked as normal.
Yeah.
I've just worked from home now.
Yeah.
So it's kind of worse. Yeah, it's not. If the first week or so it was like great, I'm at home, but then I'm like, God, it's actually. Part of me is a wee bit jealous. I know I'm lucky. Yeah. Part of me is jealous. I'm like, I'd love to have had just a month off.
Yeah.
But I never got that. And I'm like, all these people are going to go back to work. Everything's going to be fine.
Refreshed.
And they're going to look back and go, do you remember the time we had a month off just to play video games? And I'm going, do you remember? Yeah. It was great.
It's probably worse for you because you had you didn't get when you said you clock off work, you're in your house.
Yeah.
Like that negativity is still there. If you finish your working day in a bad mood, you bring that home with you.
Yeah.
Because you are in your home. So I think that's. For me, I'm back to work normally now, but I'm working a few days in the house. I think it's so tough. I honestly do.
Mm.
I think you definitely need to have a way of differentiating it.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a separate room, switching off, go for a walk, but it's really hard. But before this all happened, I was like, I'm gonna get better at guitar. I'm gonna read all these books. And after the first week, I fucking just like on the sofa.
See, I know myself. I know I was going to be lazy anyway. Yeah. Even at the weekends and stuff, I'm not fucking learning a new language. Fuck off.
I know. That's all I got from people whenever like this lockdown first happened. Everyone's like, if you don't learn a new language or learn how to play an instrument or do anything, you're doing it all wrong. I was like, I didn't do this shit when I had free time before. I'm not gonna do it now. Let me just be. I mean, I think we've been more productive in terms of doing videos and shit. Maybe.
Yeah, probably because
Skype makes it
Skype
easier.
And stuff.
Skype makes it easier. We're happy enough with both.
Mm-hmm.
Any sponsorships want to help out? But so man, you talked about like the racism happening and all too. I know we talked off air and we texted each other about what was going on in America. George Floyd. Like, how does it sit with you? Because you were from there. You lived there your life. Like, you probably seen racism happen probably more than us because we obviously Belfast is majority white. So we don't see that as often. But like for you, what was it like seeing that on TV and people like slagging off American people?
I think, be like sort of living there, like my school, when I was like in 3rd grade, 4th grade, all that. It was very diverse. There was a lot of there was like a mixture of white kids, there was a mixture of black kids, mixture of Asians, Mexicans. And because like the west coast of America is so populated with the Mexicans and Spanish people, like there's a lot more Mexicans than there are. Well, I mean, I'm guessing here. I'm guessing that there's a lot more Mexicans than white people there.
Do you think sometimes with America, because it is so? Well, I always thought like. For us, I just probably going to sound racist and stop me if I'm going to be racist even. For us, especially in Ireland, we don't have. I was like, what's the percentage? 95% white people here.
98.2% white.
There you go.
And it's less than 2%. It's not. See the less than 2%. It's not black. It's
it's
more.
Yeah. So for us, I'm never understanding racism, but I'm understanding people who aren't aware of it because here we don't experience it. But I always felt looking at America, like I think the majority of people aren't white anymore in America. So for me, when I see racism over there, I'm like, but how you grew up with black people in your school your whole life? How can that annoy you? Like you know that there's no difference. But for someone who's never met a black person in his life, they're like, oh, I don't know, I've never met him. I'm going to be a bit different with them. But like, if you grew up, as you said, you grew up with your school with all different sort of people. Why is that still a thing now?
Yeah, I know it's crazy. Like it's just I kind of blame the parents of the kids that bring them up that way. Like you should have friends no matter what race, ethnicity, religion they are. If they're your friends and you trust them and you like them and they're loyal to you and you guys have good times, good fun. They're your friends no matter what. Yeah. But
why are we friends?
I know.
You're not good banter. Keep correct. I don't believe.
I'm the funny one.
You're the funny one. This is an awful podcast. You're the funny one. Oh Jesus. All right. Jesus, we knew.
I bring the comic relief.
Do you?
No.
You are the comic relief. That's fine. Sorry, Jake.
But I also think it's like the place where they're brought up, and like they'll have bad experiences, or like their dad or their cousin or their brother will go to jail for a certain amount of time, and they'll look down on the police for that because they won't see their fault. Like say if like a kid is like, I don't know, 4, 5 or 6 years old, and he sees his dad getting taken away, he won't understand what his dad did, because he's his dad and he loves his dad. But he'll look at the police like, oh, he's taking my dad away. Why? So it's and then he'll grow up with knowing with just knowing that the police took his dad away for.
But it kind of works both ways, doesn't it? So you have someone who actually is a criminal, obviously broke the law, murdered someone, did something, assaulted someone, and goes to jail. And that family like, oh, we hate cops because they put our dad, our cousin, our brother in jail, even though they probably were meant to go to jail. But then you have the other side when you see like police harassing certain people, white, black, Hispanic, whatever, Asian, trying to do, and that causes it. So you have then this person who hits black people for no good reason, or hits police for no good reason, joins this person who hits police for a good reason, and then
cycle.
That's like one that they add together, and then that's when you look at this whole situation at BLM. Regardless if you for or against it, there's obviously people there for wrong reasons and stuff. So that comes together, and when people take, I was listening to podcasts like, oh, if you interview one of them people, they don't really know what the Black Lives Matter actually is and what they're actually campaigning for. Because they don't need to know, because they feel deep down that regardless, like they feel like their experience is so worthy of them protesting. They can't probably articulate the problem, but they know there's a problem. You know what I mean? And that's the bad thing, because you're going to get people join it for selfish. Like I went down to the BLM march in Belfast, and I seen these wee girls came and take a photo and just left straight away. It's like almost the post on social media. Go, oh, I was here, or like I'm like, you're the problem right now, because no one's like.
It works as well, like because there's people who feel so strongly about it and they want to post, which is great. But then there's people, if they don't post, you have other people going, why aren't you posting? Yeah. And then you're like, well, I don't know what to do. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? So it's hard. It's such a complex issue. But I guess from our point of view, we don't really understand it as much because we haven't grew up on it.
We have never experienced racism. Like, we haven't. Like I experienced. I experienced one form of racism when I was in New York, and I was on a train. And a homeless guy came on, and we were leaving. I think we were going. Our last day, we were going to exit the airport, to get the bus to the airport, to New York. And some guy was asking for money, and we had a $50 note. That's all we had left. Granted, it's far more than he had, but we couldn't give money. And he said to me, like, "Oh, you're a white boy." And I was like, the whole train was packed out, and he pointed at me, and I was like, "What the fuck?" And I was like, "What?" And that is like obviously so minute in the grand scheme of racism, but that's the only time I felt like, why are you singling me out right now? What the fuck did I do? It wasn't really for the race, because there's white people on the train, there's black people. New York's all multicultural. But I was like, I felt so awkward. I'm like, oh shit, and I felt like everyone on the train was ignoring him. It was packed out. This one guy against me. I'm like, oh shit. I was like, what do I do? What do I do in that situation? Do I explain myself? Go, well, no, sorry, but I only have a $50 note. I have no change. I need to get a bus. What the fuck do you want me to do? And I was like, oh shit, what do I do? Like, I just ignored him and just. Like, because he walked away eventually, but I was like, imagine that happen on a grander scale. You know what I mean? Imagine that happen in a regular. And there's not people who do. I'm sure it's black people who haven't experienced the degree of racism that's going on, but there's people who have. You know what I mean? And it's so hard for us to not even like deny that they experience it, but also just imagine what they went through in that experience. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that's the biggest problem. It's not. Just because we don't know doesn't mean it doesn't happen, you know.
Yeah, true. Yeah, I don't think I've ever experienced racism myself, or have I seen anybody else experience racism. But I know that it goes around, like my friends and stuff. Like I was too young to really know what racism was when I was living in Los Angeles, but. Like I was happy with my black friends. Like I didn't look down upon them because they didn't look like me.
Yeah.
So like I mean, my friend was my friend. And
yeah. I think that's the best way of doing it, because you look at any kids don't understand racism. Like racism, you're not born with racism in your body. You're born neutral. Everyone's own cares, and you're taught it. So then then it goes down to education on it. Like people always talk about disarming the police, which I think is fucking retarded.
To defund the police is.
Yeah, I think
because people from poor areas need it more as well. Like it's not the rich people don't need the police as much as someone like if you're campaigning and you live in a poor area. There may be problems with the police, but that has to come down to training, education, support. Like if you get rid of them, you're the one that's going to suffer.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
And for me, it's always big. Don't defund them or disarm them. You just need to educate them, have better training, make it harder for a person to become a cop, and make it better for them. Like make it be like so like they get paid really well. So then they go through this training. They do education. It's almost like you need to get a degree to be a cop. That's what it should be.
I see. Whenever I was a kid growing up, the idea of being a police officer was always like, to me, it was always being a fireman. I always kind of wanted to be, right?
Same.
But a police officer, but a police officer, you were kind of like, oh, that'd be a pretty decent job. And then you look at where we live, and you go, you couldn't be a cop here. It'd be so hard, especially when we were growing up. Like, if my family would want to be a cop, they'd probably sit you down and be like, I don't think that's a good idea. So then sometimes you have to maybe apply that to parts of America. Growing up to be a police officer in America, sometimes I'd be thinking, I don't know if I want to do that because the whole gun culture, and I'm not criticizing it because I don't really know an awful lot about it, but it's like, I can't imagine as well sometimes being a cop where anyone could actually literally kill you. You're like, everywhere you go, you've got someone who, in the back of your head, you must be thinking this person could have a gun. And seeing American listen to that, they might just think, what's he talking about? He doesn't know anything. But I'm growing up in a culture where that's not possible. No one has guns. So that's why it's alien to me.
Yeah. 100%. I agree with that.
But here, we'll get off this here because it's a really touchy subject, and I think, I don't know, I'll just say sometimes we need a bit more light in our lives.
Yeah, I agree.
Here's a wee question for you. Yeah. I was talking to you, Jake, before I went to LA, remember? I was going to LA with my girlfriend on a wee holiday around California. And you're the person who made me not stay in LA. Because I was going to go and stay there, and I was asking you, where's good and bad? And you told me, I remember vividly, we're working in the cinema, and you said, don't stay in LA. Get in, see what you want, and just get out of it. Don't stay there. And I said, what about San Diego? And you said, yes, stay in San Diego. For a person who lived there, who like is obviously, I know your mum's from here, but she obviously lived there for a long period of time. Your dad lived there for a long period of time. Why were you advocating not to live there, like not to visit there? Like, do you not like it that much? Or?
It's not like LA. LA is bad. LA is beautiful. It's a city for sights, definitely. But I just think from the things that I've read and the things that I've heard, again, I was too young to understand this back when I lived there, but it's just the crime rate and the amount of homelessness that's there.
That is awful.
I think about half of LA is homeless, or in poverty.
Half of LA.
So like
is fucking, like, don't you think about it?
Like places like Compton definitely is one of the poorest areas where a lot of gang violence. Where a lot of gang violence occurs, and you got the Bloods and the Crips there as well. So you got a lot of gang wars, and it may not happen anymore. I don't really know, but just like my dad worked in a school in downtown. I think, I'm not really sure. Don't quote me, but
don't worry, this isn't in the corner or anything.
But he, I'm pretty sure he said this to me. He lots of the kids that he taught, like, were living in poverty and stuff. Were living with no dads, with dads being taken to jail and stuff. So it's definitely one of the roughest areas. But like outside of like the city, like where I lived, I loved like the Redondo Beach area, Hermosa Beach, Huntington Beach, all that.
It's always LA. If you have money in LA, it's amazing. But if you don't, then it's hard.
Yeah.
Is that better way of putting it? Like if you're rich, that's why. Like I was in LA, I decided to go to Beverly Hills, go to Calabasas, just to see. And, like the world that they live in, even though it's only a few miles away, is complete contrast to each other. You know what I mean? Yeah. You have like these gated communities, big mansions, like just ridiculous. And you're driving down, you go through Skid Row, it's only a few miles down the road. You're just like, why are people living in tents? What the fuck is going on?
I know, it's funny because you'll have like on this side of California, you'll have Beverly Hills, Hollywood, and stuff where the stars in the ground are the Mass Chinese Theater. The stars are there. All the greats. Movie memorabilia shops are there, and then you have across the way, you have like just not like poverty stricken, but like you have like the middle class, I think, because like we didn't we didn't live in like a big mansion with a pool or stuff. We lived in like a tiny apartment building. It was 2 rooms, my mom and dad, and then me and my 2 brothers all shared a room. One small toilet, a living room, and a kitchen, with just a bunch of neighbors beside us as well. So, and like we didn't have like a big garden or anything. So,
but it's crazy. Like you're saying, because you compare yourself to Beverly Hills, it's like ridiculously. Your apartment be ridiculously small. Then you compare yourself to people living in the street. You're just like, Jesus Christ, the contrast. Like I have so much. I'm so privileged compared to them, but I'm like so underprivileged compared to what they have. Like the Beverly Hills and Calabasas and all that keeper. So it's like that's always I felt like in America. The middle class in America is like it's withering away the next to nothing now. Like you have the rich and the poor now. That's what it's becoming. There's no middle class area anymore. The rich are getting richer and the poor are getting poorer.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. It's funny. It's just funny to see the contrast of how you have the rich stars in Beverly Hills, middle class is everybody else, and then half of the people are poor.
Sad.
Sitting on the streets and begging for money and stuff, and it's quite weird.
But here. We'll get on something like a bit next.
I was going to say because we were like Saturday. I was like, I'm just going to lighten up a bit here.
I thought LA was going to be a bit more happier, but obviously it's a bit grim place to live. So if anyone listening, don't go to LA.
Don't go to LA.
But here, no, do. See the sights and stuff.
Don't say it. Get a car, drive in, get out as soon as possible, and keep your doors locked.
And if you've got $50, keep it to yourself.
All right, so normality's kind of kicking in. Is there? I know you're a massive moviegoer, Jake, and we all are. Basically.
Do you work in the cinema? Yeah.
Yeah, still. Yeah.
You're just furloughed from there now at the moment. Yeah.
Yeah, for now, yeah.
Have you got any word that it's going to open up soon? Because I know like.
I've got word of a date. July 29th is supposed to be, I think, the date for all the Northern Ireland cinemas to open. But
I'm so excited. Sorry.
But I've got no idea if it'll be later or if it'll be before. But yeah, I'm just excited just to serve customers again, really.
But I guess the problem is when it opens up again, like people watch movies in different ways. See, for me, and I've done it before, I don't like going to the cinema to watch old movies.
No.
I know some people do, and some people, I don't like doing that, right? So whenever I'm really down to go to the cinema, but whenever, say the theatre opens on the 29th of July and they're showing
Pulp Fiction!
But see if they're showing Back to the Future, I'll just go, it's on ITV4.
Yeah.
That's the problem the cinemas are going to have, in my opinion. When they reopen, it's going to be months and months before these movies start to come out again, because they can't just release a film, they have to put a marketing campaign out. So... Say the new James Bond film that got delayed, that's not going to be in the cinema on July 29th. That's going to be in the cinema in September.
True.
So it's going to be September, October before we start getting the fucking movies that we missed.
Well, what about movies that came out, like, who are meant to come out in the cinema during that time that actually went on to be streamed? Do you reckon they...
Don't know.
Would you be happy with that?
Yeah, I guess. I just don't want to go and watch Jaws in the cinema.
Yeah, I know.
And I love Jaws, it's my favorite movie, but I'm like, I get that's what they obviously will, or wherever any cinema will 100% do that.
Name.
They'll 100% do that though. It'll be like,
anyway.
I know. Come and watch Halloween. They're like,
it looks the same.
Only £20 a ticket.
You get a free burger, which has been stored in the fridge for 2 years.
And you know that Coke you'll never drink, we'll refill it.
You get buckets for free. No one's gonna drink that. No one drinks that. You'd be surprised though.
So that's probably going to be a problem with the cinemas. It's going to be a wee while before we actually get
I know. I think even like before lockdown happened, I was kind of looking for a new job or just something else. So I think even like the thought of like working in a cinema where we have to like restrict people to like 2 meters or 1 meter or whatever. I think it's not somewhere I would like to work, because I love seeing like how Star Wars or Endgame was like packed out. Like there were so many people for Endgame,
well.
and I was like, this is what I want to see. This is
This is the way you want to experience it, isn't it?
Yeah. Like this is gonna make history, but like to now like restrict screens to like 40 people is like a sold out screen.
Yeah.
When you have like seats for like 200 people, it's kind of like, I don't know.
I think for me, it's certain movies. So Endgame, yeah, I want to see that in the packed cinema. But your wee drama, I'm happy with like a bit of space. I don't like. I'm weird with cinema as well. Like I always kind of sit to the side and stuff, and I don't really like people on top of me. But I get it.
Certain films are actually better when it's quieter, like The Quiet Place, for example.
Yeah.
I know you saw.
Oh yeah.
You were really annoyed about that, weren't you?
Yeah, just because I couldn't fucking understand what was going on because someone was eating their popcorn, and I can't get annoyed at someone eating popcorn because they're in the cinema. But I'm like, this is a movie where no one talks.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up.
It's all about being quiet. You fucking Sandra, get up your fucking phone.
I know.
But is there any is there any movies like you're excited for? Like usually, regardless of what I am, before this all happened, I was always looking what's coming in the cinema. Because I fucking just love going to the cinema. I would, even before I worked in the cinema, I was still going once a week, 3 times a month anyway.
Same, yeah.
So when I worked there, I was like, I'm going like twice a week to see the biggest pile of shit ever. Even I went to see The Meg, which is the worst movie ever made.
I love The Meg.
Fuck up, dude. Is there any movie? Is there anything you're looking forward to? Like either of you? Like, is there any movies like I can't wait for it to come out?
I was looking forward to Tenet.
Oh yes, definitely Tenet. Yes. Oh, I can't wait for that.
That's the only movie I had. I wish you can't get something.
That's the biggest movie. The James Bond.
Next question.
I was looking forward to the James Bond movie.
Are you?
Mm-hmm. I like James Bond.
I do as well, but I feel like with the whole was it Danny Boyd left? Was it Daniel Craig basically said he'd rather kill himself and do another movie? And it's like.
Then he got another big pile of cash, and you're like, okay.
How about another zero? No, another zero. Yay! But it's also like I feel like they delayed that movie before they knew what was going to happen. Like they wanted that movie to be
Think
delayed.
it's going to be shit?
Yeah,
I don't know.
So. It got really bad. Like they obviously released the movie to people. Like they watched it
screeners
and stuff, and basically they were like, "Oh my god!" So they delayed. So it was meant to be out like early March. So they basically delayed before lockdown even happened.
Yeah.
They're like, thank fuck for the coronavirus. She's going.
No, I'm looking forward to that. Because I do like Bond and I like him as Bond. So
and like Rami,
I would have seen it.
Rami Malek is the bad guy.
Oh yeah, Rami Malek. Yeah.
Oh my god, I just really wanted to see a Danny Boyle one.
Yeah.
So annoyed. I was like, yes, this is gonna work. Danny Boyle's class to me. I can't see this. And then once he pulled out creative differences, and I'm like.
I hate that. This is the biggest load of bollocks I've ever heard. Whenever a director leaves a project and they say creative differences, I'm like, well, what, did you not talk about it before you started filming it? Oh, fuck off. He's obviously just fell out.
Yeah, probably. Or they wanted to do it a certain way. They wanted to be like...
Who gets halfway through shooting a movie and the producer goes, why does this director want to do it like this? I'm like, no, you know what the director's doing the whole time.
Maybe just misread the script.
Fuck off.
He's like, this is a James Bond movie. I thought it was James Bond movie. I was going to say, I was so confused this whole time. Is there any movies for you, Jake, apart from Tenet?
Yeah, Black Widow. Yeah, I was looking forward to that.
What are you on about? That happened in between there.
You're looking forward to Black Widow. What is it about Black Widow that you're excited about? I'll be honest, I wasn't really sold on it.
I mean, it's not like I was like waiting for it for like forever, but like the trailer looked good. David Harbour's in it. I like David Harbour. Scarlett Johansson is always good.
I never watched Stranger Things.
Oh, Stranger Things is great.
You need to watch Stranger Things.
Yeah.
The Wire, Sopranos, or The Shield yet. Any is.
I don't like The Shield. There
you go then.
But I like Sopranos.
I hate when people tell me, you haven't watched like 13 Reasons Why? I'm like,
no.
Wire, one of the greatest TV shows ever made. No.
Yeah, but The Wire's not on Netflix. Stranger Things sitting there on Netflix. You can just flick on now. Well, you have to go out and buy The Wire or download it.
Well, you need to buy Netflix. Netflix isn't free, mate.
But you haven't.
What?
You haven't.
How do you know? I don't pay for it.
Watch Stranger Things.
Who pays for Netflix?
You know what he's going to do? He's now, if he watches it, he's not going to like it.
No.
Even if he loves it, he'll be like, I can't say he like this.
With Sopranos, I watched The Shield, The Wire. My brother said Sopranos is the best. I'm like, everyone tells me this is the best. I'm going to watch it just to say it was not good. The first season, I was like, fuck, this is good.
Watch Stranger Things.
I'm not going to watch it.
Yeah.
So Black Widow, yeah. But here, I actually have a question here for both of you are massive like fanboys of the MCU,
Mm-hmm.
and like they release any dog shit and you like it, you know that way.
And you'd be determined not to like it. To be different. Yeah.
Exactly. But like, so whenever Endgame happened, don't get me wrong, I wasn't a fan of MCU up until was it Winter
Captain
Soldier?
America.
Yeah, and that blew me away. And then ever since I became a fan, I've probably watched every one since then. I haven't liked all of them. Like Ant-Man was a bit meh. It was enjoyable, it was a bit meh, you know. But like, it ended for me. Like Endgame ended it.
Yeah, same.
So
Same.
Stage 4 or some shit. So part of me is like, I think it's gonna. Obviously, every TV show, every TV station's gonna fucking or company's gonna milk the fuck out of it in the MCU because it's so successful. But is there a part where you need to go start releasing these movies because you're gonna? It's kind of like what we said with Star Wars. It wasn't Star Wars just just did 3, just did a New Hope up until you to this day we say best trilogy ever made. But when you release all these other ones, which a lot of people aren't fans of, and you weren't, Stephen, but you said get the point like, oh my god, let's get to the point where there's going to be like, there's only going to be a few Star Wars movies.
But see, that's the difference. See, with the MCU, right? They've released how many movies have released? Over 20, maybe 30 films or whatever.
23, I think 23.
So out of the 23 films, most of them, even if you don't like them, they do really fucking well. So most of them are good.
Well, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Most of them are good films, even if it's not Endgame level or Civil War level. Even the Ant-Man movie, if you don't really like it, it's not a bad movie. So they haven't made a movie other than maybe Thor: The Dark World that's like, this is fucking terrible. Whereas Star Wars, straight off the bat, made 3 pretty shit films.
Ant-Man 2 was pretty bad.
It's okay.
Thor 1 and 2 and 3.
Thor 1's class. I love Thor 1.
Iron Man 2 and 3.
Oh yeah, Thor 1's great.
I think the ratio of good
Star Wars fanboy, MCU fanboy.
Yeah, but the ratio, even if you try to be objective, the ratio of bad films in the MCU, like the standard's pretty high. Like if you make 23 films and the majority of them, even if you don't like them, they're definitely watchable. And most of them, in my opinion, are class.
Do you think you hold Star Wars so deep to your heart to the point where like you feel offended when Rise of Skywalker came out rather than being like objective?
No, because I think if Infinity War and Endgame went as bad as that Star Wars trilogy, I would say, what the fuck happened there?
Really? Okay.
But they didn't. Infinity War and Endgame were class.
Yeah, no, I agree. I love them movies.
But what do you think, Jake? Do you think there's a...
I'm talking!
You think, mate?
I think, look, I'm kind of both. I love Marvel movies. Not all of them. I love most of them. But I'm a huge Star Wars fan. Like, I've loved Star Wars ever since I was... able to talk, basically. But I think, so with Marvel, I think, yes, Iron Man 1 was phenomenal, great. Captain America First Avenger, I really like. I think it gets a lot of hate.
Does it?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, it does. I don't know why, actually. But
I think the movie's amazing, and then I kind of think it falls away a wee bit, but it is great. I think it.
But I think the movie that I saw that I get the most hate for not liking it, while everybody else loved it.
Oh, yes, I know.
Thor Ragnarok. I didn't like Thor Ragnarok at all.
You're the only you didn't like that.
That's fair enough.
Really?
Yeah.
I think it's just the guy who directed it is a phenomenal director. He directed that vampire mockumentary. Yes. Jojo Rabbit.
As well.
Yes.
Taika Waititi.
I can't say his name. Yeah.
He's a phenomenal director, directing the Mandalorian episodes as well, which were really a new Star Wars movie. But the tone that he took for Thor Ragnarok, I think, wasn't appropriate because like Ragnarok is a very serious and dark storyline, and he took it and sort of made it just into a comedy. Like I just wasn't a big fan of it. Yes, the humor was good, and I laughed at some of the jokes, but just the overall tone was like it shouldn't be this vibrant. It shouldn't be this.
But
it shouldn't be this.
I get a question for both of you. It's like, do you think Marvel can do that though? Can make a dark movie? I know like Infinity War kind of ended dark, but we all knew they were coming back. You know, they wasn't like you didn't feel like, oh my god, Spider-Man's really dead. Oh my god, you're like, oh my god, he's dead for a movie. He's back again. You never knew that. So can MCU set this tone? I don't think they can do that. They can't do probably the Ragnarok, which you probably grew up with and you wanted to see. They can't do that.
Yeah, and it just depends what you want out of the movies. Like, I want my MCU to be the way it is. I want it to be bright and I want it to be vibrant, and I want my DC movies, because if for a comic perspective, I prefer DC over Marvel comic book wise.
Yeah,
I prefer I prefer Superman, I prefer Batman, even Wonder Woman, even Aquaman. I prefer those comics over Marvel. I hate Spider-Man comics. That's just the way I've always been like that. But movie wise, I'm in my opinion, I like my MCU movies to be the way they are, and I like my DC movies to be dark, because I think DC, like, it's easier to do a dark film when you've got a character called Batman who lives in the fucking dark shadows, and you've got a fucking super villain called Joker. It's harder to do a dark movie when you've got a super villain called Loki, who's a fucking guy from the sky. You know what I mean?
But kind of what Jake said there, like, Thor Ragnarok was a dark, serious storyline. So Marvel have done dark comics before, but the MCU have set it up in a way that they can't do that.
Yeah.
I don't think it's to do with Marvel being light and DC being dark. It's just what the production companies say to do, because now they can never do a dark movie.
Well, maybe. But I don't think it's a criticism for me personally, because I don't really want them to.
Yeah. As you said, I'm going to see an MCU. I know I'm going to expect. If I'm going to see a Batman movie, which was very similar to the MCU, I'd be like, what the fuck? Like, I'd be, you almost be annoyed and offended.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So,
but the DCU or DC universe, hands down, have the better characters. They've got the three best characters ever in comic history. Like Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman. They're the best characters probably ever written.
Yeah,
and then you look at MC, like Captain America, who I love, Thor, who I love, Iron Man, who I love, but they're not even on the same level as a Batman or a Superman. And I'm like, but how the fuck is DCU messed that up so much to the point that they've allowed Marvel to get this far fucking ahead making these movies?
Yeah.
You have the material.
I think I remember seeing Justice League when it came out in cinemas and liking it at the time. I was like, this is quite good. And then I rewatched it a couple of weeks ago on Netflix, and I was like, this is utter trash.
Yeah,
because
it is.
I think like even when I read up about it, like. Yes, it's tragic what happened to Zack Snyder's daughter, and he had to step away from the project and everything. Joss Whedon came in and did some reshoots, which, I mean, fair enough. I couldn't tell what were reshoots and what weren't sometimes.
He had his hand tied behind his back, in fairness, Joss Whedon. Like, you were coming in, you've got like 6 months to try put a film together. Like, it's not going to be. It's the same as your guy done Solo. You're not going to make that work.
Yeah, and I hate people go, "Oh, Solo's crap." Ron Hart is a joke. I was like, he came in near the end. He just had eight screws. You know,
but seeing the defense of the DC movies, like, as much as I love Marvel and I think they've knocked it out of the park, I probably like the DC movies more than most people. I think Man of Steel is a fucking masterpiece, in my opinion. Batman vs Superman, see the Snyder cut of that, like the actual extended version.
Oh yeah,
I think it's fucking class.
It's great.
Justice League's terrible. I like Wonder Woman, but I just recognize that the MCU ones have just built something special. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Then what Disney have done with the MCU is just nothing short of spectacular. To be fair, like, because for me, not being a fan to become a fan, you know, they dragged me in, and I was real anti. Like MCU, I wouldn't go. Like, I would go out of spite with Fusions and just kind of try to pick holes in it. Like, I went to see Age of Ultron. That was shocking. Sorry.
I like Age of Ultron.
I think that gets a lot of hate as well.
I like.
You know why, Jake? You know why? It's a crap movie.
I actually really enjoy it.
I think because we went to see like the triple bill. We see Captain America, the first one, Winter Soldier, then Age of Ultron, and if you watch the triple bill in the cinema, you're fucking tired. You want to cry near the end of it. Just like, end, please. And
was that how we done it, or was that not Civil War?
That was probably Civil War.
Civil War. We done the two because when did Age of Ultron come out before Winter Soldier?
Yeah.
Yeah, it did.
No,
it didn't. Right.
After.
I have a good memory, man. That's what we.
But we definitely went to see Captain America 1, 2, and then Civil War to get as a 3.
No, we seen Age of Ultron and then 3. I see Captain America the first one and I didn't like it, but I watched it again. I loved it, and I watched Winter Soldier and I loved it. And then and when you watch Winter Soldier, then Age of Ultron, regardless if you like them, there's a big difference in class. Like, Winter Soldier's probably one.
But why would why would the cinema show Captain America 1 Winter Soldier, and then Age of Ultron.
That was the timeline, isn't it? What's the actual official timeline in the story?
I don't know.
Anyway,
it doesn't say. It seems like you would watch the first Avengers before you'd watch the second Avengers or something. If the cinema was going to do it, you would show Avengers 1 and then you'd show Age of Ultron.
That's what I thought.
That's movie house for you. Fucking fun. They try to show Spider-Man in between as well. The show's forward.
What do you think about Spider-Man?
I think, well, if we are we talking about movies or comics?
Well, what do you think of the Tom Holland Spider-Man?
Oh, I quite like him actually. I think he plays both Peter Parker and Spider-Man equally as good as they do. Because I think Tobey Maguire was a good Peter Parker.
Yeah.
And he was an okay Spider-Man. And then Garfield was a
great Spider-Man and a bad Peter Parker.
Great Spider-Man, yeah, bad Peter Parker. But Tom Holland is both. He's
to me, Spider-Man was always going to be Tobey Maguire because I like those things. Yeah. But I think I'm exhausted with Spider-Man.
Yeah.
You know, I think, and I would be like, as much as I love Captain America, but I can't imagine having 3 different Captain Americas in the last 10 years. Like 3 different actors playing them.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
And you always want to get the ones you saw first. If they redone Captain America, we always want to see Chris Evans, aren't we?
Yeah.
Seems like us, like
Wolverine.
For me, it's like when I watch Spider-Man, like Tobey Maguire ones, I know the first 2 are amazing. Third one is questionable. I get that, and there's obviously a lot of problems going on behind closed doors that actually made that way. But like for me, I associate that with being a kid going to cinema. It's like one of the first movies I saw. Mm-hmm. So I seen Tom Holland. I'm like, yeah, he's good, but for me, it's not. It's Tobey Maguire. So I always like, yeah. And it's also like, is he Spider-Man or is he just like a mini Iron Man now? Like his suit can do everything. He doesn't like his like Tobey Maguire when he was doing Spider-Man. His superpower was he was Spider-Man. His suit basically did nothing. But with Tom Holland, his suit does everything. He didn't even need to be best better.
But see the thing with the Tobey Maguire one, wasn't it? He had the webs in him, which that isn't the case.
But they changed that in the comic books.
Yeah, but I think this Tom Holland one is closer to what Spider-Man was supposed to be. Like I don't think I think Spider-Man always had web shooters.
Yeah.
Like it always, and then obviously he fucking with Tony Stark. That's what happens. But I agree. For me, it was Tobey Maguire, but that was probably a childhood thing as well.
But even that thing as well about having like he creates this unbreakable material. Like fuck off, what? Like I think that's why I'm pretty sure. I'm 90% sure. One of my old friends was a comic book fan. He said no, they changed that in the comic books. He had the web shooter. Then they changed it to be actually in his like an actual spider, which makes more sense.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah.
But I guess there's so many different incarnations in the comic books. Do you know what I mean? Like there's the way it works is nearly every writer gets to go on Spider-Man. So there's probably over 1,000 different versions of Spider-Man.
Like Batman.
Do you know what I mean? And even like Superman, all the characters. Like I'm reading Frank Miller's Year One Superman at the minute. It's a comic book, and it's Frank Miller who is like a legend in comics. And he's rewrote. It was like came out like last year or the year before. He rewrote like Superman, how it's beginning, and it's amazing. But it's different to what you would associate with Spider-Man. And this, he's like, you know, he's in Atlantis and stuff. It's like and that's just what happens all the time. So even making a movie is so hard because you've got all this material and you have to piece together. Like whenever I reread I don't know if you've ever read it. It's Dark Knight Returns.
Yeah.
And then I reread that recently, and then I was reading. I was like, fuck. All these lines, they're all coded throughout all these movies that I've seen, and I didn't even know that. I was like, all these lines that they've said, like, that's in the Christian Bale Batman. That's in this Batman. Like, they're just pick. I can't imagine how hard that is. Oh. You know what I mean? I can't imagine how hard it is to make a movie knowing that you've got all this material, and you have to go through and be like, fuck, I had to pick each.
Yeah.
You know?
You almost like needed to like just start from scratch.
Yeah.
I think that's what almost like Christian Bale's Batman was when it's almost like a step away from the comic book scene. Almost like what's Batman like in the real world?
Yeah, it was more reality based. Chris Nolan wanted like it more reality based. That's why Bane didn't have like all the Titan in him, and like it wasn't on steroids or stuff. And that's why Joker had like a different backstory. Like he actually put on the makeup. He wasn't dropped in a vat of acid.
Yeah.
Again, for a non-comic book fan, that's bad. That's why I like them. That's why I think I like Joker so much. Because almost feels real. Like this could happen. When I see Tony Stark making these devices, like, that's not happening. I have no emotion to this movie. I'm going to enjoy it, but I'm not going to care. When I watch Joker, I'm like, I care about every person because it feels real.
Yeah,
like,
but I guess that's just the way. I mean, when you watch like a sci-fi movie, if I watch like an Aliens movie or if I watch a Star Wars movie, I know that the stuff and the Marvel stuff is more like that. It's more science fiction. You know what I mean? If I see someone on him,
real?
If I see someone on him Falcon, I know that's not fucking real. But like, I can still, and maybe you can't, but I can still get emotionally attached to it. Whereas with the DCU, they have grounded in reality, and I didn't really love the Joker movie personally. I thought it was good, but I didn't love it. I thought Heath Ledger's Joker was better personally.
Oh yeah, 100%.
But I don't know where you fell on that.
I mean, last year was a great year for movies. I loved like all the movies that came out last year. I loved. No, I didn't even see that.
Oh, it's good.
You laughed at your movie.
It's good. It's awful, but it's an awful film, but it's fucking funny. It's so bad.
Yeah.
But no, I think Joker was one of my favorite films last year. Now, yes, Joaquin Phoenix wasn't as good as Heath Ledger. Heath Ledger will always be top. But it I was deciding last year what my favorite movie of last year was, and it was a tie between Joker and Marriage Story, and I picked like the one that I picked was Marriage Story, just because I like that movie was close to bringing me to tears. Yeah.
Did you pick up? That's your first?
I think it was second. I think I picked Jojo Rabbit as first.
Oh yeah, I think I picked second. We did a wee video on it, like our favorite maybe last year were, and Marriage Story was up there for both. It was like it's so real. Like
it's so good.
There's only a few movies that get it spot on. Like this seems like it's happened. I know it sounds so stupid and so simple, but that's the art of making a movie, making this feels real. Yeah. And having the dialogues, the emotional connection to the characters in just a short period of time. You agree with her, you agree with him. Like, fuck, this is just so well done. This is so levels. Yeah. But where I stand with comic book movies is for you two, I know you two are comic book fans. Like, you actually read comic books. I don't.
Mm-hmm.
So when I hear comic book fans talk about movies, they're a bit like
passionate.
Yeah, but they're almost like, because they, as you said, the storyline changes a lot. Like, you have a series on Spider-Man one year, and 2 years later they change it up, or even Batman, they change it up. His arc, his backstory changes a wee bit, so they're used to change. So when they see it in the big screen, they're like, "Oh, I'm happy enough. I know they can do better," because they experience different levels of Batman and different levels of Spider-Man. Why, for me, all I experience is what's on screen, and when I see it's not up to scratch, I'm like, fuck's sake, it gets me more annoyed. Like when I hear Ken Smith talk about these, he's like, fuck it, who cares? Then let me see whatever on screen, you know. And then if it doesn't do shit, we'll do another one again. So you're like, all right, that's kind of a good way of putting it. But for me, I'm more cynical. I'm kind of like, you spent £100 million on this crap.
But again, that's the thing about movies. You don't have to like every film. That's what makes it interesting. Like, if every single person loved every single MCU movie and there was no debate or talk about it, it'd be shit, it'd be boring. Do you know what I mean? So it's all subjective at the end of the day. Like, you can have your opinion on something, and you like, I don't know. I with MCU, it is childhood. Do you know what I mean? So I am completely biased towards it, but that's okay. Do you know what I mean? No one needs to convince me that it's bad.
As long as we can admit we're biased. Like I say, I'm biased for Star Wars. You're biased towards MCU.
I'm biased towards Star Wars too, but those movies were exceptionally bad to me. That make me actually go, because it was like. The first one, I was like, okay. Second one, I was like, oh, fuck. Third one, oh, fuck, I actually don't like this. I actually have to, like, come through. It's like Game of Thrones. It's even when we started watching the last season, the first couple of episodes, I was still like, I was afraid. I was like, where's this going? And you were like, it's good. It has to be good. And I'm like, it is good. And then it ends and I go, that was so bad.
Yeah. So I thought Game of Thrones, like, disclaimer, like, for me, I was like, it's going to get better. And if someone's told me, if it's kind of like The Mandalorian, when someone asks me about Mandalorian, how's the first 3 episodes? Me, they're good. Good. I heard they're amazing. If these were the best episodes in the series, it's not going to be good. Yeah, it's not going to be a good series.
Yeah.
But these are the worst. So I followed Game of Thrones, the first 3 episodes of the last season. I'm like, hey, if this is the slow bad parts, and I'm happy enough. But that they were actually the best episodes, even though they weren't that good.
Yeah, it's funny the way it does. You get loyal to a show and stuff, and you get loyal to a thing. Like, I remember whenever we were in work and stuff and Game of Thrones was on and people were coming in, people were staying up all night watching the episode and they're like, it's the best thing I've ever saw, it's amazing. And then a couple weeks go by and they're like the same person who says it's the best thing they ever saw. Go, do you know what? It's actually shit. Your brain, like, because you've watched 6 seasons or whatever, and it's been so good.
Oh yeah.
Your brain's telling you it can't be shit.
Yeah.
Like it can't. How can it be shit? You're like, I've invested in all these characters, and then you're just, holy shit, it was crap.
It's kind of like Walking Dead, isn't it? People like, I know everyone watches it, doesn't like that anymore.
Yeah, I've never watched it.
No, that looks.
No, yeah, I like stopped after like I watched it up to like season 9. I got to, and I didn't even finish the last episode of season 9, and I haven't watched anything of season 10. I'm so done with it.
I know Friends, the 10 seasons. Friends, the comedy show.
I know, and they're 20-minute episodes, and you just kind of laugh and turn it off.
How many times can you walk and go, "Oh my god, a zombie"? Walking down the zombies because of copyright and shit. But like, get over it. But here, before we go, Jake, I want to talk to you about. You started doing an Instagram page. That's true. Like doing reviews. Before you used to do a YouTube channel years ago. How long ago was that you did your YouTube channel?
This is a long time ago. Let's see. I think 2014 was when I first reviewed my first film on YouTube. Which, that was The Maze Runner.
You did 6 years ago, Stephen?
At her. It was a bit of.
So what means you go off YouTube and then go on to Instagram and start writing shit? Is that like why? For me, like when we first started doing podcasting, because you were doing blogs and stuff.
I was trying to and stuff, but I've never really committed. That's always been my thing. I've never really committed.
You wanted to?
I wanted to.
But then it's like for me, it's always been like, well, blogs are gone now. It's podcasts are the new blogs. You have someone talk to you, and then you have them to read, and that sounds really like.
But I guess for me, it was because I like writing. It was like the craft of actually writing something was more appealing to me than talking.
Yeah.
And then now I've realised I'm amazing at talking, so I need to just keep doing this, you know.
Is that like why did you make that transition? Like why did you stop? On Instagram.
I think well, part of the reason was because I don't know. I found myself not really being bothered to set up the camera and set up my tripod and everything and sit back and read my notes and look at it and then be like, I forgot my notes and stuff. And so I don't know. I sort of, and then it was the whole software that I use for editing is terrible. Like it's absolutely whack.
You love editing, yeah?
Shut up.
But and then I don't know. I started this page for photography mainly because I got really into photography.
Was that during lockdown or was that just normal?
No, that was before. And because I study filmmaking now in CERC.
Nice.
Like I just wanted to. So I wrote out like a list of like essential films for film students, and like I've got a whole heap that I've just been going through during lockdown. And so I was like, why not just review these films and rate them and stuff, and just get them out there and stuff. So I've become like an amateur film critic over like the past 3 months or whatever it is now. I've lost track. But like recently I watched The Godfather for the second time.
Shit in it?
It's unbelievable.
Yeah, I got like a 4 out of 10 from me.
4 out of 10.
Yeah, but Thor won. 10 out of 10.
No, like The Godfather. It's probably one of my favorite movies ever. Like
it's
you
can't, movie, isn't it? It's perfect, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's no flaws in it.
It's incredible.
You can't fault. Now, I haven't seen Godfather 2 like the whole way through. I've seen about half hour of it. I watched it with my dad.
It's great, but
it's
good. In my opinion, it's not as good. I know people think it's better. It's not as good in my opinion, but it's good.
Personally, but it's only because I watched that first.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't watch the first one. I watched the second one because the second one's obviously a bit of an origin story.
Mm-hmm.
I watched that first, so I was really confused. I was like, that's him, Daddy? Anyway.
Yeah.
But I have that page on Instagram now. Just writing reviews and then giving like movie recommendations and stuff. for like anybody who's bored at home and stuff, and just go watch this movie.
What's the name of the page?
It's just my name, Jake Melin. But
No worries.
the picture is like a black and white picture of me, and my eyes are like blacked out.
Oh, dark.
And before we go, then one last question: what's your favorite ever movie?
Oh, man, that's
straight away. No thought. What is it?
Oh, straight away. Dark Knight.
What? All time?
What's yours?
Probably.
Fuck.
Straight away, go.
Toy Story.
Jaws.
Has
to be Jaws.
Fair enough.
See, I can't. I was.
Megalodon.
That's fucking tough. Rear Window.
It's a good film.
Rear Window, yeah.
It's like, for me, it's Star Wars, Indiana Jones, it's like Back to the Future, but they're the reason they're my favorites because like they're a collection. Like there's 30 movies. So one Rear Window. That's the movie I probably watch the most. I love how it looks.
It's great.
How it sounds, the dialogue, the acting. Grace Kelly, Jimmy Stewart, and Albert Hitchcock. Just a perfect movie.
Is that recent? Actually, yeah, it's great.
Great.
Yeah, it's really good.
Yes, Jake, thank you so much for coming
Thanks,
on.
man.
Hopefully we can do it
no problem.
Hopefully this lockdown gets
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, nice to meet you too.
And a bit more, and we can actually meet in person, actually have a proper conversation, because
definitely.
these Skype calls are good. Like, they're not ideal. There's better ways of doing it, and hopefully in the future we can do that. All right, mate.
Right, dude, peace out.
Thanks.
All right.
All the best, boy. See you later.
No problem. See you.
You are now listening to MCPodcasting.